Today's secular-driven society seems intent on erasing the rich Christian history and influence in our country. One of the main battlegrounds is Washington, D.C., where one media outlet is creating a place for people to better understand the truth. CBN's David Brody has more on this new venture called Jesus in the Public Square.
The cultural slide in America can be traced back to the 60s when the Supreme Court said no to prayer in public schools. That led to legalized abortion in the 70s, and now the High Court says there's a constitutional right to same-sex marriage.
Somebody's values are going to reign supreme, so our goal is to bring our values to the public square.
David Lane with the American Renewal Project first moved toward that goal by urging pastors to get involved in the political process. His next challenge? Getting Jesus into the public discussion. It came about after a visit to a D.C. bookstore.
You couldn't find a Christian book with a flashlight. And it hit me again. Isn't this awful? A nation founded by people on a religious mission, the Mayflower Compact, for the glory of God and the advancement of the Christian faith, in the nation's capital, and you can't find a book or Jesus anywhere. And if the Lord does it, we're going to put Jesus right up in the middle of the table in Washington, D.C. He will defend himself.
That table opened up at the Washington Times. Lane planted a seed with management, which led to a website feature handled by Scott Lamb.
Jesus in the Public Square at the Washington Times hopes to talk about and dialogue with people to show them that Jesus Christ and his lordship is a universal theme, and they should submit to that.
The fact that this effort takes place on a major outlet's website is significant, and so far it's a hit. In the first 2 months, the site had nearly 200,000 page views, making it one of the top 5 most read communities on the Washington Times site.
We felt like we had a hole in there. We had a hole for faith coverage and faith issues. The intersection of faith and public policy, the intersection of faith and politics is larger and larger every day, and it's more complicated. I think that if you come to the Jesus Public Square and you read something there, you're almost certain to learn something that you didn't get to read somewhere else.
Some of the more popular stories featured biblical economics, and another one with a pro-choice journalist who became pro-life after watching the recent Planned Parenthood videos.
We're not looking to do 500 pieces a day. We're looking to do 4, 5, 6 pieces a day that talks about gospel-driven things that really exalts Jesus Christ and gets people thinking. We hope to have a ripple effect outward so that churches are stronger and that individual families are stronger and that people who are not Christian now come into the family of God.
Ultimately, Lane says that the name Jesus in the Public Square reminds us that all truth is God's truth. And for America to change course, the people need to hear his word in a desperate way. Lane is optimistic.
God is in the business of resurrection. I believe there's going to be a resurrection of America, literally.
David Brody, CBN News, Washington.